Okay guys, so what we're going to do today is you guys are going to start making your very first 3D design or part. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to onshape.com where we can access the software that we'll be using. So once you go there, it should look like this. I'm just going to click the sign in button up here. And we're just going to use your school email and the password that you made when you set up your account. So if you did not set up your account yet, you're going to need to do that first. So take a look at our Getting Started Google Doc that's posted on our Google Classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and just sign in here. And it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. So again, this is where all of your documents will show up once we actually make some things. So since we don't have anything created yet, nothing's going to show up here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to come up here and click the Create button. And we want to create a document. And I'm going to name this My First Part. Okay. And we're just going to click the OK button here. It's going to load for a second. And it's going to give us this. Okay, so this is what we call a part studio. So this is where we design all of our 3D parts. So you'll notice there's a couple things already in here. We have these three planes, the front, the right, and the top. So basically those are 2D surfaces that we can draw on. And you'll see there's this dot at the very middle. All that represents is the origin, or it's where, X, Y, and Z are all 0. So it's the very, very center of our document here. And so to make any sort of 3D part, we first have to draw something 2D, and then we'll transform it. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to use this little cube over here. I call it like the view cube. Let's just control what we're looking at. So I want to look at this straight on to the front plane. So I'm going to click this front side. Okay, so now it just looks like it's a plain 2D surface. So we're looking straight on at this from the front. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click Sketch so we can start drawing. Okay, so it's going to ask me what I want to sketch on. So it says select a sketch plane. So I'm just going to click anywhere on the front plane here. So I'm just going to click right here. And now it says front plane. Now we don't want to click the green check mark yet. We don't click that until we're done sketching. You'll notice all these tools up here now have changed. So now we have these drawing tools. Okay, so if I do click the green check mark, it takes us out of the drawing mode. And now I can't draw anymore. Okay, so if you do by accident click the green check mark, just double click your sketch right here. Okay, and now we're back to drawing. So what I'm going to draw here is we're going to just try drawing like a star. So we're going to try out the line tool. Okay, so these are all different tools we can use up here. So we're going to just try the line one right now. So I'm going to start at the origin right here at the middle. And we're going to just try to draw a star. We'll see how good I can do this. Okay, and yours doesn't have to be perfect. We're just experimenting with this. Okay, so all I have to do is just click from point to point. And then the important thing is we want to end exactly where we started. Okay, so I want this to end right back here. And if we did it right, it should turn a little gray now. Okay, so it should shade it in. All that means is that our shape is closed, which is what we want. We want to make sure everything is closed in there. So now that I've drawn it, I'm going to go ahead and just come up here. I'm going to click the green check mark now that we're done. Okay, and now we have a sketch there. So you'll see now over here on the left, it says sketch 1. So we've added a sketch to our part studio here. So now what we want to do is we want to turn this into a 3D part. So to make this 2D turn into a 3D thing, we're going to use what we call the Extrude Tool, which is right up here on the top left. So I'm going to click Extrude. And what this is going to do is basically going to pull our sketch out of the screen. Okay, so it's going to ask us, what do we want to extrude? So I'm going to click somewhere in of our star here. Okay, and right now it just looks like it got darker. So what I'm going to do is you can use your arrow keys or you can use the 2-finger click on your trackpad. And I'm going to just rotate to kind of see what's going on. So if you look, it's actually pulling our star out of the screen there. So if you see that, it's actually coming out of the front plane. Okay, and so let's just change this depth so we can change how far it's coming out. I'm going to just change it to 2 inches. Okay, and I'm going to click the check mark. And there is our first 3D part. So we've just made something now. we'll use extrude command. Okay, so that's one of the main ones that we'll use, and you've just created kind of more or less of a star. That is how we make this very first one.